Now on CoastTV News.
Support for fallen troopers family, how you can help, and the fake fundraisers to avoid. Planned upgrades for Northside Park in Ocean City, what changes you can expect.
We're seeing mainly cloudy skies right now, then a cold rain develops across Delmarva, our neck of the woods, as we go through this evening with ice and snow farther to the north, making for tricky travel. More on this system and your weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to Coast TV News Midday. We are going to begin by taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. See some people walking on the boardwalk there. They are brave as the temperature outside today is not as warm as it was on Christmas Day. And First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trahey is going to be joining us to talk about that cold weather coming in. Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, it definitely is colder out there, Lisa, and a beautiful Christmas day. We had temperatures in the low 50s. It's much colder now, and of course, we're watching for this winter system to move in. It'll be affecting us mainly to the north of Dover, where there's a winter weather advisory that extends into the Philadelphia area back into Pennsylvania. This is mainly for ice and snow for this evening and overnight, and then a full-blown winter storm warning around the New York metropolitan area. They're going to see a plowable snow there, at least a few inches. But for us, we're just looking at a cold rain as we go into this evening, as we're seeing some filtered sunshine right now, but already some precipitation beginning to show up near DC. Some of this probably not hitting the ground yet, but snow is breaking out across Pennsylvania with a wintry mix farther to the west and northwest, and it's this system that will affect us into the evening. Temperatures at or a little bit above freezing right now, 32 in Redden, 33 in Georgetown and Millsboro, 35 in Bethany Beach. The wind's starting to turn to the east now, bringing in some slightly warmer air in off the ocean, but temperatures still feeling like 20s and low 30s, as we do have increasing clouds by noon on Futurecast and pretty mild by 2 p.m., lower 40s, as our flow coming in off the ocean. By 4 p.m. already some very light rain, maybe a little bit of a wintry mix at the onset, and then we'll see mild and breezy conditions this evening with rain and very raw weather out there as we go through the evening hours. We've got the rain over us and then that wintry mix and snow farther to the north. That all starts to move off by Saturday morning. Your day part forecast, those winds picking up out of the southeast and temperatures into lower 40s by this afternoon. I'll have much more on this system and a drier and chilly weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. Our top story this morning, Delaware State Police are warning people about unauthorized fundraising efforts following the line of duty death of Corporal Matthew T. Ty Snook. According to the agency, these fundraisers are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Snook family or Delaware State Police. DSP is encouraging people to rely on official information they have provided. And here is that official fundraising information to help the Snook family. A fundraiser has been started by Delaware State Troopers Association at helpahero.com. As of 3 a.m. this morning, people have already helped raise almost $230,000. And Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy is also joining in on fundraising efforts for Corporal Snook's family. A t-shirt honoring the fallen trooper is now available on the Barstool website. Portnoy says 100% of proceeds will go towards the family. Here's some more information about Corporal Grade 1 Matthew Ty Snook. This is his picture. DSP says Troop Snook was 34 years old from Hockessin, Delaware, and a 10-year veteran of the Delaware State Police Force. Snook was a graduate of St. Mark's High School and the University of Maryland, where he was a member of the wrestling team. He is survived by his wife and 1-year-old daughter. New this morning, Northside Park in Ocean City could soon be getting some upgrades. The park is used year-round, from people enjoying a nice stroll in the summertime to the Winterfest of lights. According to the Ocean City Parks superintendent, upgrades will include replacing softball field lights with LEDs to cut costs and better light the area, upgrading the playground, and improving the pathways to better prepare for drainage issues and improve walking conditions. The plans are something one person who often walks around the area is in support of.
I think it's in pretty good shape now. It's nice and flat. It's easy for me walking, but you can always flatten this in spots.
According to officials, the overall cost for these projects will be around $1 million, with funding coming from the Capital Reserve Fund and state grants. The town says these upgrades happening to Northside Park is set to happen in 2026 and 2027. Pope Leo led his first Christmas Eve midnight mass from the Vatican. It's one of the last events of the year for the world's first American Pope. NBC's Molly Hunter takes a look back.
It's the moment the world's 1.4 billion Catholics have been waiting and praying for. About an hour later, American Cardinal Bob Prevost appeared on the loggia.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Now Pope Leo XIV.
To find out that he's a Chicagoan as well, I could not believe it. That was something we were always told could never happen. There could never be an American Pope.
An Augustinian who spent decades as a missionary in Peru, before that a Villanova grad born and bred on the south side of Chicago. And those who know him well say he's adjusted quickly to the Vatican.
He seemed to hit the ground running. It looks like he was, came out of central casting, made for the job.
In the same spirit as his predecessor Francis, Leo has spoken out about immigration.
I think we have to look for ways of treating people humanely, treating people with the dignity that they have.
And repeatedly called for a ceasefire in Ukraine. He's met with Ukrainian President Zelensky 3 times since his election. And back in November, we had the chance to ask Leo a question.
Do you have a Thanksgiving message? Is there something you're thankful for?
To recognize that we all have received so many gifts. First and foremost, the gift of life, the gift of faith, the gift of the unity, to encourage all people to try and promote peace and harmony.
The first American Pope spent the holiday traveling on his first international trip. In Turkey, he marked an important historical meeting for the church, visiting the famed Blue Mosque in Istanbul. Then, honoring a promise made by his predecessor Francis, he traveled to Lebanon, where he celebrated Mass on the Beirut waterfront for a crowd of 150,000.
To you, Christians of the Levant, have courage. The whole church looks to you with affection and admiration.
Quite the send-off for the new pontiff, who chatted with reporters on the way home.
Just a year or two ago, I too thought about retiring someday.
But instead, celebrating Christmas at the Vatican, his first as the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Molly Hunter, NBC News.
Coming up after the break, marijuana penalty modifications, a new bill being introduced in the Delaware General Assembly that could lessen some consequences for marijuana violations. Delaware could change how it handles public use of marijuana. House Bill 252 would make the use of a personal use of marijuana or THC products in public places or in a moving car a civil violation instead of a misdemeanor. The legislation says penalties would get reduced to a fine of up to $50 for a first offense and up to $100 for repeat offenses. However, the measure does not change existing DUI laws. Supporters say this change is needed to more fairly handle low-level offenses and align Delaware with other states.
This simply brings Delaware's laws closer to what other states, including states that don't even have legalization laws. So this is essentially a cleanup provision that wasn't included in the original legislation.
The bill is now assigned to the House Health and Human Development Committee. And if you have weed in your house, smart habits can ensure a fun and safe holiday season. Children can easily mistake edibles for candy. A study from the National Institute of Health reports that it happened more than 3,000 times in 2021, and that can be very dangerous as kids are more vulnerable to the effects of THC. And coming up next, First Alert meteorologist Bob Trey. He is in our First Alert Weather Center tracking a cold rain for Delmarva with ice and snow to our north. We will check in with him after the break.
We're certainly seeing a colder day compared to Christmas Day, where we saw temperatures in the low 50s. Now we're a good 18, 20 degrees colder than that. 34 in Laurel on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture camera with clouds and still some peaks of blue. But those clouds will be lowering and thickening as we go through the afternoon with temperatures into the upper 30s. And here is our camera, the Gutter Helmet Cam from Ocean View, showing that wind starting to come in off the ocean. And we're going to start to see those temperatures increase as we go through time. With the clouds, afternoon rain developing, possibly starting as a wintry mix in some areas, but that'll be brief, and then switching over to rain as temperatures warm from the 30s into the 40s this evening. Then tonight, a cold rain, wet roads, but to the north, tricky travel with ice and snow. Now, the regional airports are in good shape right now. Dulles, Reagan, BWI, and Philly all do not have delays now, but that could change here in the next 7-8 hours as we go into the evening hours, and they're going to be looking at accumulating snow in the New York metropolitan area. So JFK, LaGuardia definitely could see some delays there, as a good chunk of the Northeast will be seeing snow and ice. So if you're traveling in that neck of the woods, be careful, beware. We're also looking at some tricky travel across the Rockies into the Northwest with rain and snow. Temperatures now starting to move above freezing in some spots. 34 in Millsboro, 33 in Georgetown. Willard's at 35 as a wind starting to come in out of the east. Eventually, they will shift to the southeast and will warm up into the evening hours, and feels like temperatures into the 20s and 30s. There's that winter weather advisory north of Dover into Newark, into parts of Jersey, Baltimore, into Philly. That's where you're going to see some ice, sleet, and snow. And a winter storm warning around the New York metropolitan area, including Long Island. You could see a plowable snow at least 4 inches in these areas. So if you're traveling into that neck of the woods, expect delays with wintry weather. Otherwise, we're looking at filter sunshine right now and starting to see some radar echoes around D.C. I doubt this is hitting the ground, but it's showing a wintry mix. But we are seeing snow breaking out across Pennsylvania, wintry mix farther to the north and west, and it's this system that will be moving in as we go into the evening hours. So we're going to thicken up the clouds this afternoon. Temperatures in the 30s and low 40s. I think too warm for frozen precipitation as we see the rain building in this evening, and temperatures actually rising into the mid 40s. So a very raw evening, but just wet roads, and then drizzly overnight. And then we're looking at cloudy skies tomorrow morning as that system departs. The winds start to pick up out of the north, and it gets colder into the afternoon, falling into the 30s, clearing skies tomorrow night. Then by Sunday morning into the upper 20s, and then mostly cloudy lower 40s Sunday afternoon. As we're tracking that rain across Delaware, much of the eastern shore, but then this peach color southern Jersey into Philadelphia, that is that ice, sleet, and some snow, and then that heavier snow into the New York area this evening with the rain over us. Then this all starts to move out by tomorrow morning. Could see upwards of about, let's say 1,500 to about a quarter inch of rain with this system. Really not a lot. Then we see another front dropping in on Monday. That promises very mild weather with another chance of showers later in the day. Along the coast today, looking at lower 40s from Lewis to Bethany Beach and Chincoteague, and some rain building in as we go into the latter part of the afternoon. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 39 today. That cold rain this evening, and then dry over the weekend and chilly. 41 Saturday, 46 Sunday, 61 on Monday with showers, and then sharply colder Tuesday, mid-30s. New Year's Eve dry, 41, and right now New Year's Day, as we start 2026, 38 and partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Bob. Coming up tonight on DSN at 5 p.m., James M. Bennett takes on Colonel Richardson in boys basketball. At 6:30, Y-High faces Dover, also in boys basketball. And at 8:30, it's the All-Star event. Here are your DSN Plus exclusives. Governor's Challenge is here, and you can watch the games taking place at the Wicomico Civic Center, Wicomico High School, and UMES. It's week 17 of the NFL season. Here's what's coming up on Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. when the Chicago Bears take on the San Francisco 49ers. Then stay tuned for Coast TV News right after the game. We'll be right back. Starting today, Ocean City is offering a free Christmas tree drop-off site. Organizers say people can bring their live trees to the 100th Street Municipal Parking Lot. The drop-off site will be open through January 15th. Town officials remind everyone to remove all tinsel, ornaments, and other non-wooden items before dropping off trees. And it's time to showcase how you are decorating your homes this holiday season. Today's holiday house picture is coming from Kelly and Angela in Popper in Ocean City. Here is a beautiful picture of their Christmas tree on their front porch. That is an absolutely beautiful view. Thank you for sending us this photo. And if you would like to showcase your festive decorations and have them shared during our broadcast, you can take a look at your screen. Send in your photos by heading to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse. A holiday tradition in Cambridge is back for another year. The Cambridge Rescue Fire Company's Train Garden has been in operation for over 9 decades, even believed to be the oldest volunteer fire company model train display in the country. Dedicated volunteers like Andrew Bradshaw, who also serves as chairman of the Rescue Fire Company Train Garden, works to maintain this miniature world.
We've been in this building since we began in 1934. The Train Garden has continued in Cambridge for 91 years. We've survived the Second World War, the Great Depression, the Vietnam era. There's a history coming into this building. It is as much part of the tradition for people that come to the Train Garden as the trains themselves.
Organizers say the holiday feature is open until December 31st.
We're still seeing a few peaks of blue skies in Lewis right now, but the clouds will thicken up this afternoon as temperatures rise through the 30s, and then we'll see that cold rain developing this evening. Congratulations to Karen Smith from Seaford on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV. She'll need that this evening. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next. If you've got some outdoor chores this afternoon, I think we're keeping it dry with thickening clouds. Temperatures rising through the 30s. Then we start to see that rain after 5 p.m. continuing through this evening and pretty raw. And then to the north, it's going to be icy and snowy back through Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalis and Federico. Your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 39 today with the rain into this evening. And then this weekend, mostly cloudy, dry and chilly. 41 tomorrow, 46 on Sunday, 61 on Monday, and then getting cold towards New Year's. New Year's Eve, 41. New Year's Day, cold, 38, and we keep it cold the first few days of January. Looks like another chance of rain by Sunday and a high of 44. So not seeing any snow here the next several days, Elisa.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.